Hi everyone, this is Maria, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really super simple heating pack. And so this is rice filled, and you heat these up in the microwave by just putting them in there for a minute. And you can use these on sore muscles, like on your neck, on your low back, anywhere you like. You can use these even for menstrual cramps. One of my nieces says it really works, and she was really reluctant to try it. And so she swears by it now. And so, but anyways, you guys, you can also use these, like if it's really cold at night, you could just heat it up and just put it next to you in bed, and it'll keep you warm and toasty till you fall asleep. And they are so much fun to make, super simple, and they make great gifts, and everyone will love them, I promise you guys. And so, like I said, you heat these up in the microwave, and there's rice inside. You can also put these in the freezer and use these as a cooling pack. So the first thing you're going to need to make these rice packs is a sewing machine. It's simple straight stitch sewing, you guys, so don't worry, nothing fancy here. And then you're going to need some scissors, some thread. I like to choose a lot of fabrics that I know I can use white thread with, because you can make a lot of these without changing the thread in and out. And you're going to need a few straight pins. You're going to need a pattern, and you can cut this from just a piece of paper. This is just some cardstock that I have, and this is computer paper. This is my original pattern here, and I have 10 by 6 inches. But what I found out, what I was doing with this was I was allowing like a seam allowance, which was 1/2 inch around. So I just cut out a new pattern for this video. So now I have it at 10.5 by 6.5 inches. But you guys can make any size that you want, because you can also make smaller ones to tuck inside your pocket. And you're going to need some flannel fabric. You can use cotton fabric, but I like to use the soft flannels because they're just cozier. So before I cut the fabric, I like to iron my fabric to get all of those wrinkles out, but that's optional. You don't have to do that. And if you're going to iron your fabric, you might want to use a spray bottle just to spritz your fabric with water. So I don't have a spritz bottle right now, you guys. Mine was old, it just stopped working. And so I just have this little bowl of water. This is how my mother used to iron years ago anyways. And I'm just going to sprinkle this. This is what my mom used to do. My mom used to iron a lot, and so my mom ironed everything, even pillowcases, my dad's handkerchiefs. Yeah, because we came from that era when guys were still using handkerchiefs. And so, yeah, mom ironed everything. And so I was also in the habit of ironing everything until I got married with Joey 40 years ago. We're going to celebrate our 40th anniversary next week on the 26th. And one day he said, "Will you please stop ironing my clothes? You're going to wear them out." And I remember thinking that was so odd, because I was so used to ironing everything. I'm going to place this on the fold, because you could see how I did this. I just folded this up from the end. And I'm going to place this side on the fold. And then I'm going to put this to the edge. And I'm going to put my first pin, my straight pin, to hold it in place. Then I'm going to do the other end, and you can put the pins wherever you feel comfortable putting them. And I like that right on the edge. And be careful, because you will, kind of pick your fingers sometimes, poke your fingers with these pins, and you don't want to get any little drops of blood on the fabric. Yes, sometimes you get little drops of blood from the pins because they're pointy and sharp. So if you're a child, you should really have some help with this from an adult. Okay, so I have that. And then I'm just going to go around the edges, and be careful with the scissors and your fingers. Okay, I'm going to move my iron over because I don't want to burn my arm there. And then I'm going to go here and just follow the line, the edge. It doesn't have to be perfect, you guys. You can see it's not perfect at all, the edge, so don't worry about that. You could snip that off if you want, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to take these two ends off here, because I have the fold here. And I mean, you could take all of the pins off, and that's what I usually do, but I'm just going to do this for today. Then I'm going to take my scissors, This just makes it faster, you guys, so you don't have to cut all the way up. And I'm going to put my scissors right in the fold and just cut along that fold very slowly here. And again, it doesn't have to be super perfect, but you do want to get it along there as much as possible, which I did not. And that's okay, you guys. You know, it's funny because when you're doing a tutorial, you know, for YouTube, like I'm doing right now, I'm standing behind the camera, like I'm back here and the camera is right here. Hi, guys. And so it is a little awkward, you guys. And so, okay, so this is what we end up with. We have our first one. And so then I just snip this off, toss that aside. I'll pick that up later. And then if I want to make another one, I just fold this up again. And then I would lay my pattern down and cut this again. But I'm not going to do that right now. Also, I want to show you, you're going to end up with this long strip if you have half a yard, like I do here. And so what you can do with this, let me show you another piece of fabric I have. So here's another piece of fabric I have, and this is the end that I just showed you at the end of the half a yard. And so if you have a whole yard, you will go almost to the very end and you'll get, let's see, 3 across. And so, but anyways, isn't that cute, you guys? I love these little kitties. And so, yeah, and so what you can do then is you can fold it inwards like this, and then you can cut another one. And if you have enough room, you can cut another one, which I'm not sure if you would. And so, but if you don't, you can always cut out smaller ones for your pockets. I'm at my sewing machine. I'm going to turn on the light. I have a pair of scissors here. I like to have 2 pairs of scissors, one next to my sewing machine and the other one I keep on my ironing board when I'm working on these. And so here is the fabric, the rectangle, the rice pack before it's sewn. And so you can see I have the print facing each other on the inside. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start right here at this corner, and you can do about I think this is about 1/4 inch, but right here to the end of the sewing foot. And so it's just a simple straight stitch, you guys. And so I'm going to start out slowly like this, and then I'm going to back it up to lock this stitch. I always like to lock my stitch. And then we're just going to sew all the way around, keeping this right next to this sewing foot. Super simple, right? Okay, as I get closer to the end here, I'm going to stop. I'm going to go one time using the little hand thing on the side, and then I'm going to turn it facing me. And when I do that, that's when I like to snip these threads. And so I don't have to worry about that anymore. They're snipped. And then I'm going to go down to this edge here on the bottom. I love these bags, you guys. I can't tell you how much I love these. They have been a lifesaver to me. And so especially as a writer, when I was writing my novel, oh my gosh, you guys, you know, when you're at the computer for hours, literally, you get sore shoulders and your low back will hurt. And so I would just heat this up in the microwave, and it was very helpful. Okay, so then I spun it around again, and let's go up this way. Okay, we're almost there. And so I'm going to lock the stitch. We're going to leave this end open. And there we go. I'm sewing backwards now just to lock that stitch. And then I'm going to pull this out and snip these threads right here, and then always pull those threads right in the back so it's ready to go again. And so here we are, you guys. And so you can, if you want, snip at a little corner here. Let me show you. Be very careful if you do this. You don't want to get too close to that. And that's just so when you flip this over that you'll have a smoother corner. But you know what? I don't really care about that, you guys. I really don't. And so I prefer to leave it this way. And so let's go ahead, and I'm going to put my hand inside just like a puppet, okay? Hello, you guys. And so then I'm going to put my thumbs in here and I'm going to pull it out and turn it inside out. Okay, and I'm going to push the little corners out with my fingers, and then we're going to use our scissors in a minute, or you could use a pencil or whatever you like. And let me show you what I'm going to do. So you want to do this very carefully too, because you do not want to poke a hole in the fabric. So I'm putting my scissors in here. And so, I mean, you get used to the feel of your scissors and you know how far you can push this. And so that's what I'm doing right here, just sort of pushing it out a little bit so that corner will pop out a little. And then here we'll do this one. Okay, and so there we go, you guys. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go back over to my ironing board and I'm going to tuck these in, you guys. I'm going to tuck this top in just like this, just about 1/2 inch. And so it's going to look like that, but I want to iron that down. It will just be much easier. So we're back over here at the ironing board and I'm just going to do this again. I'm going to push this under just like this. Just like that, okay? So we don't have the rough edges. We're going to fold that in. I'm going to sprinkle a little water on that, you guys, and then I'm just going to press. Super simple, right, you guys? Okay, it's not perfect, and so it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want them to come together as close as possible. I mean, even when you're sewing, you're not going to get them perfect all the time, you guys. But it doesn't matter as long as you stitch it really good, you know, closed. Okay. There you go, you guys. So let's go ahead and go back to the sewing machine and let's go ahead and sew on the edge all the way around. This just reinforces it, okay? Because we want that rice to stay in the bag. So I have this pressed, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here on this corner again. I'm going to lock my stitch, go forward and back, and go all the way around. And you guys, this is like a rerun, a Maria rerun, because guess what? I didn't turn the camera on when I sewed up the last one, so I'm doing this over again. And so let's go ahead, go forward, back, forward again, and continue all the way down. And we want to make sure this is flush right here with the sewing foot. And then I'm going to slow down here and go about right there, and I'm going to turn this, and you can see it's flush with the sewing foot again, and I'm going to trim these threads right here, and I'm going to continue. And again, I'm going to slow down. I think I'm going to stop right there. You just sort of get a feel for it, and you can see it's flushed here again with the sewing foot. Go all the way to the top. Starting to veer off to the side a little bit, you guys. It's okay, don't worry about it. Just sort of guide it back. And I'm going to slow down here. I'm going to pull that just a little bit, just so it's a little bit more flush, these edges. Okay, and I'm going to turn it, okay? And so what I'm going to do at this point, because you can see the top is open, I'm going to sew about halfway down, and then I'm going to lock the stitch here, and then we're going to leave this open because this is where we're going to put the rice in through this little opening, okay? So let's continue. I'm slowing down just a little bit if you notice. And then here I'm going to lock the stitch, go back, forward, okay? And then pull the wheel up, turn the wheel. And I'm going to snip these. And there it is, you guys, super simple, right? And again, like I said, if you want to make smaller ones, like for your pockets, you can just make them like half this size if you want. Okay, so it's time to fill this up with rice. So the next thing you're going to need is a funnel. And so you can use one of those kitchen funnels, but I don't really care for that, you guys, because the little opening, you can't get that much rice in that quickly. With this funnel, you can fill these bags up very fast. And so this is just made using some paper, some cardstock, and some Scotch tape. So I'm just going to take this piece of craft paper, some cardstock, and it's super simple. Just take the edge here, you guys, just the edge, and you're just going to roll it up. And then you're going to use some Scotch tape just to keep it closed, you guys. And so that's it. That's it. Kind of roll it up like a tortilla. And then you're going to take some Scotch tape, and you're just going to put that there just to hold it. And I'm going to put some at the end, and I'll probably put another piece of Scotch tape right here in the middle. So now you have a funnel to fill up your rice bags. So let's fill them up. So the rice I use is just the store brand rice that I find at our local grocery store. It's long grain rice. And so I buy it in the 20-pound bag, you guys, if you're going to make a lot of them. And so here we go. Got lots of rice. Got our bag. And we have our funnel. And so I'm going to put the funnel right here inside that opening. And then I'm going to take just this plastic measuring cup. And so you just go ahead and pour this. It just makes it a little easier and faster at the top, you guys. So let me move this down. And then you just put it in like that. I like to use this big bowl that I have. I found this big metal bowl at the swamp meet. And so it's a bowl that my mother used to have one just like it. Okay. And then you just let it fall in, and you can see it's already starting to get weighted down. And so I like to fill them up. It's up to you. And so I like to fill them up to about right there. Okay, about maybe not quite 3/4, maybe about half. Let's see. And so, because if you have it too much, you don't want to put it too much, you guys, because, you know, if you're already hurting, your muscles are hurting, you don't need anything heavy on you. And so just keep it light. And so that's not quite half. Okay. Some reason that is starting to feel about right. And so it looks like it's about halfway full. And so here we go. This is the test. This is what I do. I turn it sideways, and then I go, okay, that feels about right. If it doesn't feel right, if it feels too heavy, you can just open the opening and take a little bit out with your fingers, and then go ahead and let it settle again. And if you do that, make sure anyways that there's no rice up on top, because you don't want to break your sewing needle. Okay, and so let me go ahead. I feel a little grain of rice up in there. Yeah, and so I don't feel any rice in there right now. So let me go ahead and fill the next one up, and then we'll go ahead and close these up. This is the easy part, you guys. We're going to just sew this shut. We're going to start sewing up here at the corner, and we're going to go all the way across, okay? And try to hold this so it's even as possible. So I'm going to start at the corner, I'm going to hold my threads down, and I'm going right over here at the corner. Not all the way to the corner. I'm trying to go like where the stitching is there, but if you do, it's all right. And so I'm just going to move the wheel here. Okay, and then I'm going to go back, lock that stitch, go forward. All right. And I'm going to try and follow the stitching that I already have on there, but you know what? Sometimes it's not possible. It'll be a little bit off, and so no worries. And I don't know why I like to double stitch there, I guess to reinforce just a few extra stitches, but you don't have to do that. And just going all the way across, and going to snip those threads. Okay, I'm going to snip those a little bit. Okay. And that's it, you guys. That's it. And if you want, you can sew again across. I've done that before. And because sometimes if you go too close to the edge and, you know, you're not really confident, just sew another line. I'd rather have the rice not fall out, you guys. So, you know, sometimes I just do that. Sew another line. But I should say that most of them, I don't do that. It's only if you feel like it's going too close to the edge on top. And so just to reinforce it, and like I said, it just makes me feel more confident, because anytime I give someone something as a gift, my sewing, I want it to be the best it can be. You know, I don't want them to say, oh, it broke open and all the rice came out. And so, but anyways, that's it, you guys. That's it. So I just need to sew up the second one here, which will be a breeze. That's it. And then also while I'm sewing, I'm just naturally feeling for any grains of rice, even though I've already checked, because you never know, right? There could be one loose one in there. And I don't want to break a sewing machine needle. So here's a sample of the different flannel fabrics that I used for the heating packs, you guys. And they just came out so cute. I just love these. And I know everyone is going to love getting them for Christmas. And I hope I could sell a few of them also, you guys. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll go ahead and put the instructions below on how to use these heating packs, okay? Thanks for watching. I hope you have fun making these, and happy sewing. Bye-bye, everyone.